Hi there, and welcome to another QImage Ultimate instructional video. This one's going to be on the all-new full-page editor in version 2022.102. I have some pictures here that I'm going to use for the demonstration. We have some of Fred here, so I'm just going to start by adding a couple prints. Give me a couple of Fred and the cat here. And as you know, on the live view here, we can make changes. We can drag prints, drag the size, move prints a bit. We can select all the prints and change them to a different size. But we have a full page editor here that has more tools. And not only does it have a few more tools than can be found here on the live view, but it's a full screen editor that expands this page to a larger size so you can see it in higher resolution and do more detailed work. So let's open the full page editor here by going to this button right here that says More Tools. If I click that, it opens the full page editor, and we can see a little bit larger version of the screen here. And for those of you familiar with the old full page editor, you might remember that it used to be single select only. You could not select multiple prints on the page. But now you can select as many prints as you like, just like on the live view. So you don't have to keep going back and forth when you want to do things to multiple prints. You can do all your editing here. All of the tools from the live view are on this full page editor as well. We have the auto cropping, the rotate buttons. Again, if you want to change the size, you can just select the two prints you want to change the size on and drop down and select a smaller size, just like you could on the live view. But in addition, the text options have been updated to make them a lot easier to use. Let's select both of these prints of Fred here, and I'll show you how to put a text annotation on these prints. You can just do that by typing in here, clicking the apply button, and you get an annotation under the print. Now these annotations, I had both selected, so the annotations were applied to both of the selected prints. But if I only want to change this one to, let's say, Fred 2, and apply that, we can do each one individually because each print has its own annotation. And similarly, if we want to take those annotations off of both of these prints, we can select both and click here and delete the annotation and just click apply. And it will delete the annotation. You might notice that the annotation printed in the middle of the print, and that's because this option here for left, center, and right applies to both the print info and the annotation now. So they'll both align to whatever justification you've selected here. Now, another thing you may have noticed is that there is one print that has these blinking corner markers here. I call them breathing corners. The ones that have the breathing corners here, that's the print that's in focus. So if I select this print first and hold the Control key and select this print second, I've selected two prints, but the one that's currently in focus is the one with the blinking corners. And that's important because if we want to apply some floating text, let me add floating text. I'll click here, and it says click to select a text location. Well, the location that I want is going to be based on the print that's in focus because we're adding a text label here. So it's going to be in relation to the print that's in focus. So I'll click right here, and we have a text color of white. So let me choose black so that shows up. So we have black text here, and it's showing up on both prints because I placed it relative to the print in focus, but it's being applied to selected prints. We have two selected, so it goes on both prints. If I only wanted it on the focused print, the one that's blinking, I can do that. But most of the time, you're going to want to apply it to the prints that are selected. So I'll leave this option selected here and click OK. And you'll notice that I get text on both of the prints that were selected. Now, I placed the text relative to the print that's in focus, because now both of these prints have their own text that's positioned relative to the print. So if I move this print manually and I drag it, the text goes with it. If I move this print, drag that, the text goes with that print. If I select both and I move both prints down, notice the other print is going to follow the one that I selected. So the text stays with the print. It's kind of stuck to the print. Now there's another cool feature in this version about related to editing your text. So if I want to edit this text label that I've already placed, I can click on the floating text anchor, which is this little ball here. So I right click on that and it brings up this text label. Now if I want to change this, I can just, let's say I want to back over that, just change this text to Fred at Solomon's. When I change that and click OK, it's going to ask me if I want to copy the changes to matching labels. Remember, both of these labels had the same name when I started, so it knows that I might want to change this one too. If I click yes, it'll remove the castle from this other one too, just like that. And it even works with moving labels. If I want to click on this anchor here and move this text label up here, it'll ask if I want to move copy changes to other labels, which would be this one because it matches. Yes, and it'll move that one too. Move them together. So that's how that works. And even if I want to right click on this anchor and delete, yes, I'm sure. Delete all labels with matching text, meaning do I want to delete this one over here too? Yes. So you can see how the floating text works as well. And we also have all the other features of the live view all in one place here. So we can do all of our editing here now. Click on both of these, select them. If I want to add a photo mat, I had a photo mat in here from before and it remembered it. 0.2 on these three sides and 0.4 on the bottom, a little bit more on the bottom. And I'd already picked a color. I picked Fred's shirt, so let's use the dropper and pick his pants this time. Click there. And now when I click OK, on both of the selected prints, there's your uneven border, your photo mats. And that's ready for, if I wanted to add some floating text here, go over here and click. I'm clicking here again because I want to click on the print that's in focus, the one that's blinking. So click here, and let's give it a white color again so it goes nicely with this border. Looks good. Click OK. And again, I'll move this one to align the one the way I want it. And it asks me if I want to move the other one too. Again, because the text matches, it has the same text. So it says, oh, this other one has the same text. You want to do the same thing to that one? Yes. So now it's moved both of them. On this screen here too, you also have the ability to undo. So if I've done all this stuff and I decide, no, just bring me back to the way it was when I first entered the page editor, I can click this undo button here and it'll take me all the way back to the beginning, which is, this is where we started. So you can see how these new tools are really powerful in the ability to select multiple prints. Again, select these and make them a smaller size. I can select both of these here, and you see they're not quite aligned with the 1 inch mark here. If I want both of these aligned 1 inch from the top of the paper, I can just type a 1 in here. And now both of the selected prints move up to a 1. If I want to move these both down to 7 inches from the top, I'll just type a 7 in here. And now both of the selected prints go where I tell them. And you know, these arrow functions here, you can click on this little help button to show you what the arrow keys do. The arrow keys can be used with multiple prints too. I can click both of these and click Control Up arrow to find the next edge, and it'll move it right up against the edge of these prints. Control Up arrow. If that's a little too close, I can just use the plain down arrow to move it the snap amount, which would be this 1/4 inch. So just down arrow, and so on. So the full page editor has become a really powerful tool now that we can multi-select. And of course, you still have the other tools that have always been there, like the cropping tool, which is a really nice way to crop your prints. Quick and easy. I have this print selected, so I'm cropping this print. If I want to zoom in a bit on the cat and move it around a little, I can do that, and it updates automatically on the page here. I'll remove that because I don't need a crop on that print right now. But you can see how this works. All the tools are available to you here. When you've got the page the way you want it, just click Done. Go back to the main window here, and you can print your job. So hopefully these new features of the page editor will help you a lot in getting all of your editing done in one place that has a big preview where you can see it in high resolution and where all of the tools that you might want to use are available to you. Thanks for watching.